Well, we had a strong rally from the lows at 1,180 to over 1,400, and now we're backing off. I think between around 1,200 and 1,250, it's getting into a buying range. I mean, the sentiment about gold is very negative, but if you look at everything considered, the monetization of the debt ceiling, which sooner or later will be increased because basically both Republicans and Democrats are big spenders, and the government debt has expanded from $1 trillion in 1980 to $5 trillion in 1999. Now we're at 16 trillion. Both Democrats and Republicans have been big spenders because
so Mark,
a lot of money flows through the government.
But Mark, that has been the big picture for a while now. Here we are 3 days into the October 17th deadline. A lot of doomsday scenarios are piling up. How do you see it playing out?
If they don't agree by the 17th, I think what can happen is that the Fed will actually finance the Treasury independently, so the interest payments are being met. Because if the interest payments are not met, I think it will cause quite a big disruption to the financial markets. So I'm not so concerned about that. I think this budget issue is like the euro issue a year ago, when people were very negative and it was debated and so forth. In the end, it's a political decision.
Right.
And I think both parties want to spend. It's just on different items that they want to spend money.
Mark, when you look at what's going on across equities, bonds, currencies, commodities, and when you look at the events in the United States, do you have them as a separate and discrete event, or do you compare them to other idiocies by governments in previous decades?
Yes, idiocies by governments, that's exactly the word. It's basically a dysfunctional government that we have that has become far too large, that is essentially wasting money left, right, and center. The Republicans are wasting more on the military complex, and the Democrats on basically buying votes with transfer payments, with entitlement programs, and so forth and so on. But it's a huge waste. And the problem is, I don't see really a solution. I think the current debate about the debt ceiling and the budget is more a symptom of a problem than the problem itself. The problem is really that the government, not only in the U.S., in other countries as well, has grown disproportionately large, and that retards economic growth.
So very quickly, Mark, given that is your worldview, where do you hide out? Is there a safe haven left?
There's no safe haven. Bank deposits are not safe, which used to be safe. Money in treasury bills is not 100% safe because there is inflation in the system and you hardly get any interest. Bonds are not very safe anymore because eventually interest rates will go up. And equities in the U.S. are relatively expensive by any valuation metrics you may use. So I don't see anything particularly safe. The best you can hope for is that you have a diversified portfolio of different assets and that they don't all collapse at the same time.